Hello, this is Adam Young, and the crime novel I chose to read came from All Famous Crime: True Cases from Police Files. So they claim we don't know for sure if that's actually true or not. Um, there's several stories in here. Most of the credit for the first pictures are done by L.B. Cole, and I think the content for most of the first three or four is by Jerome Kramer. I think he is the writer for these, and there's several different artists that use. These were interesting pieces. The storylines reminded me a lot of. This came out in 1952, but the storylines reminded me a lot of more modern cop and robber TV shows and movies that came out later in the 70s and 80s. So I just wonder, were these stories used to kind of inspire a lot of those more modern pieces? Um, the stories are told at a very steady pace and rhythm. Usually you'll get a main page like this where you get a kind of an introductory panel almost encompassing the entire page describing the general story. The first one is about this lawyer, Eddie Harbo, who's a very good lawyer at getting criminals off, and he's sort of portrayed as a bad guy for that reason, which is interesting because he's a good lawyer, but the cops don't like him because he gets a lot of the known criminals in the city off for crimes that they have committed. So, long story short, for this one, he gets the attention of this mid-level crime boss who takes him to his boss, Tormy, and his girlfriend, who they agree to be like this sort of company lawyer for the crime family. And he successfully is able to get a lot of their people off. Again, the rhythm and beat of these pieces are very steady. Uses either two, no more than three panels. There's one panel down here on the lower left-hand corner. It's like a montage of the various ways that Eddie Harbo uses to get these criminals off for the crimes they've committed. See, first there's one talking about he used habeas corpus. And then if you look at the lower right hand, he's pointing at somebody in the jury saying, you could be responsible for putting a free man in jail. So he's kind of showing him that he's a good lawyer. In these three panels, you see he likes the boss's girlfriend, but that will be kind of his undoing in the end. So long story short, the boss gets accused of a crime, and then Eddie Harbo, in the first three-tier panel here, you see, there's a slight quickening of the rhythm and beat, but not much. He tells the boss to give him $100,000 to pay the judge, but ends up double crossing him, and the boss ends up getting 30 years. And he sneaks off with the money. In the end, in the lower right hand corner, you see he runs into the boss's girlfriend again. She's not really over sexualized in this story. She wears an off the shoulder red dress, but she's not portrayed as stupid or overly sexualized. She's actually showing her loyalty to her crew by proving him to be a double crosser to the crew. But lo and behold, the DA had Eddie Harbo followed after the trial. But too late, she ends up shooting him for betraying her boss, and the cops end up shooting all the bad guys. So, yes, these two books are pretty violent. And that's for 1952. I was kind of surprised at the level of violence being used. You have an assumption that this sort of a more innocent time period, but they're not horrible. There's not much blood or brain spatter or anything done in these. So really quickly, the last panel I want to show you. There's, like I said, there's several stories in here. We don't have time to go through all of them. Came from this piece, which is interesting. This is a good use of art to tell the story, the panel art to tell the story. So this man has done a hold up, and he's trying to escape. And what the pictures depict is that everywhere he goes, people who he runs into, he believes are out to get him or trying to get him. Right? So he's seeing people on the street. He's thinking they're out to get him. If you look at the left panel on this middle frame, he's knocking over a blind guy and says, "I know you're one of them." And look at the middle panel, how like his almost you see his shadow coming around the corner, and sort of the headlights of the car in the distance in the dark distance. But it's kind of portraying a sort of paranoia. So you see his words in the speech bubbles portraying his paranoia, but you also see the art being used to portray a sense of paranoia. Look at this left panel on the bottom here. He sees two men in the distance. He doesn't know who they are, but he's assuming they're out to get him. So it's kind of portraying the paranoia caused by criminal life um, through the art. The way sort of darkened areas are used to sort of give you a sense of unease for the criminal and show that, that's what you get when you want to commit crimes. You end up being paranoid. Okay, so my time is up. I hope I touched on everything. I didn't see any racial minorities at all in any of these. Literally everybody I saw in all four of these stories were white, um, male or female white, but I didn't see any minorities at all. So I cannot really comment on that particular piece of it. But maybe in the future I'll be able to do that with a different kind of comic. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you soon.